All right. This is part 2 of special angles. So in this particular video, we are now going to continue where we left off. So we're going to start with this sine 45, cos 45, and tan 45. If we come to sine 45, we utilize what? Opposite over hypotenuse. So if I'm here at 45 degrees, my opposite is 1, and my hypotenuse is square root of 2. So I say 1 over square root of 2. For you not to struggle, I'm just going to teach you how to rationalize like I did on the previous video. So I'm going to multiply by this square root of 2 on the numerator as well as on the denominator. Now, when I say 1 multiplied by square root of 2, it gives me square root of 2 over. When I say square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2, it gives me square root of 4. And square root of 4 gives us what? Square root of 2 of square root of 4 is equals to 4. Square root of 4 is equals to 2, man. I'm sorry. So which means here we've got square root of 2 over 2. Now, let's go to cos 45 degrees. If we go to cos 45 degrees, what do we have? Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is also giving us 1 over square root of 2. So, since with sin 45 we started at 1 over square root of 2, it means that if you rationalize, eventually you will get square root of 2 over 2. Then last but not least, we've got tan 45, and tan is opposite over adjacent. Our opposite is 1, our adjacent is 1, which means tan 45 degrees is equal to 1. Then we go to sin 60 degrees. On sin 60 degrees, what do we have? Opposite, which is square root of 3, and our hypotenuse is 2. Square root of 3 over 2. Cos 60 degrees. Cos 60 degrees, it's adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2. Then we've got tan 60 degrees. What is tan 60 degrees? We've got opposite over adjacent, which is square root of 3. Simple. So this is how you use your special angles. But I would like to also remind you of something. Remember, we've got what we call complementary angles. Complementary angles. What happens with complementary angles? If I draw a right angle triangle here, I've got 90 degrees here. This is point A, point B, and point C. Now, I know that when I add all these 3 angles, they add up to what? They add up to 180 degrees. So, I'm going to write a mathematical fact here, that angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equals to 180 degrees. But I know that angle A is equals to 90 degrees. So I substitute A and I place 90 degrees plus angle B plus angle C is equals to 180 degrees. But observe, 90 degrees and 180, they are like terms. So I'm going to transpose this 90, it becomes a negative 90. So now I say angle B plus angle C are equal to what? 180 degrees minus 90 degrees. 180 minus 90 degrees gives us what? 90 degrees. So now it says that angle C plus angle B are equal to 90 degrees. And remember, complementary angles, they will add up to what? They add up to 90 degrees. So in other words, this angle B and angle C, these are complementary angles. But what is their relevance in trigonometry, these complementary angles? Why am I showing you that? I'm showing you this because if I come here and I write sine 10 degrees, I'm left with 80 degrees to get to 90 degrees. But now what happens with sine and cos? Sine and cos, they are what? They are opposite each other. So if I'm left with 80 degrees, I now say that the opposite of sine is cos, so I write cos 80 degrees. The value of sin 10 degrees and the value of cos 80 degrees, let's find on the calculator. So if I come here and I say sin 10 degrees, it gives me this 0,173 and the other. Now if I press cos 80 degrees, it gives me an identical number, meaning to say that if I've got sin and cos here, I can swap, but you see as we proceed with our grades, right? So observe, I was at sin 45 degrees, and if I say 90 minus 45, I'm left with 45 degrees to get to 90 degrees. So the opposite of sin is cos. So if we say cos 45 degrees, and if we come to the calculator, I'm going to now press sin 45. Sin 45, it is equals to what? Square root of 2 over 2. And if you check, this is what we eventually found, square root of 2 over 2 on our calculations. Let's go to cos. Will we get the same answer? We press cos, we say cos 45, which is equals to square root of 2 over 2. Those are complementary angles. Why am I teaching you this? Because some of your values, you see, here you've got sin 60. So if I've got sin 60, automatically, once I can know that sin 60 is equals to square root of 3 over 2, it means that also cos 30 degrees is equal to sin 60. I've got cos 60 here. My cos 60 degrees gave me 1 over 2. If I go to sine 30 degrees, it will give me the same answer. Now, these complementary angles, they work when you are working with sin and cos only. Tan is not included. Tan is not included in this particular theory. So let's just do this. Now we're going to press sin 60 as proof. We've got square root of 3 over 2. If we press cos 30, it gives us square root of 3 over 2. If we press cos 60, we get 1 over 2. If we press sine 30, we get 1 over 2. So this could be a way for you to remember these values, right? It's not a problem. So now, what we're going to do some few exercises which will have an instruction which says that without the use of a calculator. Now, I'm going to erase this part except for the right angle triangles. So the first question that we're going to deal with, it says sin 30 degrees plus, it says cos squared 45 degrees. So sin 30 degrees, we're going to be using this scaling triangle. And sin 30 is equals to what? Opposite, which is 1, hypotenuse is 2. So where there is sin 30 degrees, I substitute with 1 over 2. I say plus. Here it says cos squared, which means that I open the bracket, I'm going to square this. Whatever number that I'm going to place here, I'm going to square it. What is cos 45? I use the isosceles triangle. Adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1 over square root of 2. I write it as 1 over square root of 2. Then it says squared, which means I must square here. Then now on the next step, I write an equal sign. Now I say 1 over 2 plus. Now, numerator, 1 squared still gives us 1 over. I've got a square root of 2 and I've got a squared here. This squared cancels out this square root, which means I'm left with 2 only. And now see, it's saying 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2, half plus half. The denominators are identical, which makes it 2 over 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, and 2 over 2 is equals to what? It is equal to 1. So our final answer is equal to 1. I have utilized these triangles to find my answer. Very easy. So do yourself a favor. Remember this scaling triangle and this isosceles triangle, and then it will help you with your work. Let's explore another question. We've got tan 30 degrees over tan 60 degrees. So we've been given tan 30 degrees all over tan 60 degrees, which now we say tan 30 degrees opposite over oh, this is the opposite over adjacent. Our opposite is 1, the adjacent is square root of 3. So I write 1 over square root of 3. This line here, the over is division, so I write it as division like that, so that I'm avoiding some confusion. When you put an over here, then it confuses the living daylights out of you. Tan 60 degrees, there is 60, and then where's our opposite? 1. Our adjacent, wait a minute, opposite is square root of 3 and our adjacent is 1. So we have got square root of 3 over 1. Now, remember the KCF method? That's what we're going to use. The KCF method, what does it say? It says keep, meaning to say that the left term, we're going to write equal to 1 over 3. Then C simply states that change. We're going to change this operation sign from division to multiplication. Then we must flip, meaning to say that, oh, where did the square root of 3 go to, disappear to? We must flip, meaning to say that the denominator becomes the numerator becomes the denominator. So now here I've got what? 1 over square root of 3, like that. Now that we are there, now we say 1 multiplied by 1, it is equal to 1 over square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3, it gives us square root of 9. And square root of 9 is a square root of a perfect square, which gives us 3. So our final answer is 1 over 3. Let's just verify with the calculator whether what we've done is correct. So when we do that, we now say that we have got tan 30 degrees, close bracket, over tan 60 degrees here, which is equals to 1 over 3. Let's confirm with sine 30 degrees plus, oh, wait a minute, close the bracket, plus cos 45, right? Cos 45, close bracket, squared. What do we get? We get 1, of which we got 1. So when you just use your calculator to verify, you know, you leave the exam room knowing that you have done the correct work. Let's do another one, right? So on this particular exercise, or question rather, what were we provided? They gave us that we've got sine 45 multiplied by cos 45. So it's sine 45 degrees multiplied by cos 45 degrees. And it is all over. It's all over what? Tan 60 multiplied by tan 30. Tan 60 degrees multiplied by tan 30 degrees. What is our sine 45? Opposite over hypotenuse. So we've got 1 over square root of 2. But remember what I said, if 45 and here we've got cos 45, they are identical. Cos adjacent of hypotenuse, 1 over square root of 2. So it's being multiplied by 1 over square root of 2. Now it's all over tan 60, opposite over adjacent, square root of 3 over 1, multiplied by tan 30, which is opposite over adjacent, 1 over square root of 3. 1 over square root of 3. Then, from this stage, already I can see the operation sign is saying multiply. And these two, they are common. So, I rewrite this fraction 1 over square root of 2 multiplied by 1 over square root of 2 all over square root of 3 over 1 multiplied by 1 over square root of 3. These two, they cancel, which means I'm left with 1 on the denominator, and which is equals to 1 multiplied by 1, it gives me 1 over square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2, it gives me square root of 4. And this is all divided by 1, so which means what we have here on top remains. Now, square root of 4 is a square root of a perfect square, which means that we've got 1 over 2. That is our final answer. And just like that, we are done. Right? So I have illustrated to you that all of this, what we have done, the instruction was saying without the use of a calculator. And I demonstrated right in front of you using these special angles. I did not press a calculator to find my answers. I only pressed the calculator to verify the answers which I got. So, on the next lesson, please do continue with us. I'm going to be talking about what we call the angles of elevation and the angles of depression, right? Please do join us on the next lesson. And my request is simple. If you haven't subscribed, please consider to subscribe. And when you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button so that YouTube can notify you anytime that I drop a video. Also, share with your loved ones or your classmates, right? Share this video if you found it helpful. Like the video so that the people